Welcome again to a wonderful webinar with me, Sandy. And yes, do you remember what it's called? It's called Ignite with Sandy. And why is it Ignite? Because I'm going to put you on fire. You're going to glimmer, you're going to glow, you're going to be absolutely so glowing after you hear all that we have to speak. And talking about glowing, this week I have a person who just does that. She makes you glow from the inside, she makes you glow from the outside. I'm talking about aromatherapy. I'm talking about, what should I call it? Essential oils. I'm talking about all those things that make us feel relaxed, that make us glow, that make us feel so good about ourselves. But there's so much out there that is extremely difficult for you and me who are not so aware of what to buy, what should be mixed, what should we be doing? Should we have this do-it-yourself thing at home? And when you go out there in the market, you go to a mall, you go to a supermarket, you are absolutely confused. At least I am. You don't know what to buy. There's so many things out there, and you think, oh, I'll buy a little bit of this because this is what the label says. And I'll buy this because this is supposed to be doing something like this for me. So you have all of that. Then you have the candles, and then you have those sticks, and then you have the pillows, and you have a plethora of all these kind of products that are supposed to be with essential oils, aromatherapy, and so much. And at the end of the day, you could spend a lot of money. You may not get the results you want. In fact, you may have some pretty adverse results. And so what I thought, it would be wonderful to have somebody who's called the mother of holistic therapies here in the UAE to talk to us about it, because this is the lady who has spent the last 25 years and more studying about essential oils, studying about different therapies. And when she talks from a place of knowledge. She talks from a place of being an expert. And when we hear this kind of information, it makes it so much easier for us to actually go out and buy something. But something what's more interesting? She also offers short courses for you and me. And I'm thinking of taking it because it's the price of 2 coffees actually in a mall. And if I can learn something like this, which is so valuable, and apply it to myself, I think it's going to be a good return on my investment. So here we are at Celestia, right? You remember Celestia? Yes. And we are so happy to bring you these different ladies from different walks of life who contribute to our well-being, who contribute to our knowledge, to our expertise. And so without further ado, I would like to introduce Madam Sunita Tekchand. But before I say, what is she, who is she, I'm going to ask her to tell you a little bit about herself. So over to you, Madam Sunita.
Thank you, Sandy, and thank you, Sonia, for inviting me today to speak about what I purely love from my heart and that I've been practicing for 27 years of my life. So my name is Sunita Tekchand, and I am a clinical aromatherapist. I love aromatherapy. I've seen a lot of differences in my life, and I started using it about almost 30 years ago. And for me, I wanted to study and approach this kind of alternative therapy because I felt that it was an alternative and not something that I'm putting any toxins into my system when I have to heal myself or when I have to do something that could be done in a more natural manner. So I went on this journey 27 years ago. I'm from Hong Kong, originally born and raised. That's my home, okay, even though I'm Indian by descent. Moved to Dubai in 97. And when I came here, there was really nothing happening here as far as aromatherapy was concerned, except for Body Shop and a couple of other places selling essential oils. So when I came here, I thought, hey, this is a niche market here. And I think I need to find something that I can do here in helping people with alternative therapies. And so I embarked on my career to open actually one of the first centers here, which we opened in 99, which was called Essentials Aromatherapy Center in Jumeirah, which I really had to haggle with the authorities here because they didn't understand what is aromatherapy. So going through all of that, I finally opened in 99, which was a ladies only center. They refused to give me to treat men and women equally, but I'm a crazy person from Hong Kong. So finally, after bugging them for 1 year, they gave me a specialized rehabilitation license, which I think was one of the first licenses issued by DOMS, which is DHA today in UAE. And I feel quite proud of that I opened up a pathway actually for a lot of other therapists who were seeking to do something here, but the government authorities didn't understand exactly what aromatherapy or other alternative therapies are. So that was my start here in the UAE, obviously selling my products too as well, which was my brand Essentials, which is organic essential oils. I source them from France and I'm still selling them today on Amazon and directly from me. I have used these products. The reason is because it has a life force in it. I mean, you can go today and buy any products anywhere, even in Spinneys, they were used to sell essential oils for $10 for a bottle of lavender. I mean, there's no therapeutic quality to it. So I wanted to educate the public of what is a pure organic essential oil, or even not organic, but just grade A essential oil, to understand the difference when I buy something which is a fragrant oil and what is something that is a pure grade A essential oil. To see the difference when they use it on themselves and find out if they've made any difference to their lifestyle or not. So basically,
darling, I just wanted to stop you there, but I just wanted to understand this. So you're talking about fragrance and you're talking about pure essential oils. And now, as a person who doesn't quite understand, we generally go with the fragrance. So
absolutely.
So how does that fit in? Because if you're saying that the essential oil shouldn't have fragrance, then for the lay person, it's like, this is just for this, but it doesn't have a nice feel. I can't smell it. I don't feel nice. So how does that work? When you really apply the genuine stuff,
right?
How do you feel?
So when I apply a fragrant oil, for example, in my bath, I will just enjoy the smell of lavender. I'm not going to get a therapeutic effect out of it. It's just a mood. It's just the ambiance that I'm creating. And the same thing goes with burning lavender candles, for example. They have no life force in it. They're not going to give you a therapeutic kick. But if I'm going to put, let's say, I put 10 drops of fragrant lavender in my bath, I go inside, I enjoy the mood. I've got candles and I've got music and I've created a fantastic spa ambiance in my house. But when I step out of the bath and then I go to bed at night, I feel, I've had a bath, I feel nice and relaxed, but my muscles are still aching. I'm not able to sleep because maybe I thought it would help me with my insomnia or whatever. And so I choose a fragrance oil. Let me try something different. Let me see if I go out there and buy a pure essential oil, which has a therapeutic effect. And that is why education is so important. People need to understand the difference between a synthetic product and something that is real. And so essential oils, when you buy a real one, which is obviously more expensive, and you put 10 drops in a bath, first of all, you're going to smell amazing, okay? The smell is completely different than a fragrance oil. So smell is a first indicator to know what you're buying, a real essential oil or a synthetic essential oil or fragrant oil, because there are many grades. And then I'm going to put that in the bath. And once I step out of the bath and I hit the pillow, I'm going to zonk out because it's really affected me and it is giving me the kick that my body requires to then be able to sleep very well that particular evening. And my muscular ache and pain is also pretty much diminished. That is the difference. I mean, you have to experience it, right?
Yes. Quite true, quite true. So, Sunita, could you tell us a little bit about the massages that you do with the essential oils? What are those about? And what kind of treatments are there? Is it aches and pains? Is it insomnia? Is it anything else? What is it that you do?
Well, I like to explain how aromatherapy treatments work. It's not a body massage per se, okay? Because you can go to a spa and get a body massage, and the spas, well, most around the world, selling it as an aromatherapy massage, but they're going to make you smell 3 different types of essential oils or pre-blended oils. And you're going to say, oh, I like the lemongrass one. I'll use that because I love lemongrass. And then they're going to splash that on your body and do a treatment. You have some effect from it. But when you come and see a clinical aromatherapist like myself, we're going to sit down first and do a full lifestyle consultation whereby I get to understand, hey, what is my client here for? What is beneath all that she's come? Everybody comes from pains, aches, and pains because we all have, back aches and pains, right? Because of whatever we do. That's the first thing a person would go for a massage for, because I've got an upper back issue or a lower back issue. Great. But the difference with a clinical aromatherapy treatment and a massage treatment in a spa is that it's personalized for the client. So let's say, for example, Sandy, you come and see me, I'm going to do a lifestyle consultation with you. And then I'm going to decide on 3 to 4 different types of essential oils that I feel will really help you to solve the issue that you've come to see me for. And then I'm going to do a nice, beautiful, very relaxing massage. So aromatherapy massage is a lot different than a Swedish massage. But we can use Swedish techniques if a person wants it because they want deep tissue or they've got certain muscle aches and pains. We can go in quite deep. But normally it's the essential oils blended with a nice base oil, which is also a choice that the therapist makes, is then massaged into the skin, which is our largest organ, and it absorbs into the skin. We don't drink essential oils. We don't make a blend and drink it because it cannot go into the digestive system because it'll burn the stomach lining. They're very potent. And hence we massage it into the skin and it absorbs into the skin, into the blood barrier system. And that's where it attaches itself to the blood cells and it will go and help with whatever aches and pains you have in the body. So how I explain aromatherapy when you asked, is it only for insomnia or is it what? It is from the unborn child to the very old. You can treat A to Z ailments with it. So it could be anything and everything. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, actually it does. And I have to say, I've been quite the guinea pig for you for the different kinds of massages that you've done. And let me tell you, I was one of the first to volunteer and I would change my schedule because number one, it was free. Number two, Sunita was doing it. And number three, I feel absolutely amazing after that. So I've been quite the guinea pig and I can say from experience, how good it has been. But what was a really nice thing about that is because she was teaching others. Number one, you could tell the difference of the very experienced hand and the person who was learning. But number two, I was just sort of lying there observing and listening. And I got to learn a lot because she was teaching. And I was not just there to enjoy the massage as I would as a client, but I actually got to learn why and how. So what she's been sharing with us right now is something that I have actually experienced and also learned. So thank you for giving me that opportunity, Smita.
You're welcome, Sandy. You can come anytime.
Wonderful. Okay, before the webinar, we were talking about things like, people go up and buy oils and then they apply it on themselves and some of them even drink it and whatever else. So can you just touch upon that, what are the do's and don'ts and what can happen if you don't really know what you're doing?
Yeah, absolutely. Because safety is of the utmost importance, especially when you're using such potent essential oils. Now, multi-level marketing, and I'm not downsizing them or saying anything bad about them, like Young Living in doTERRA, they teach people how to drink essential oils because to boost your immune system and so forth. Now, I teach a lot in Hong Kong, where I'm from. And when I went, one time a lady came to me and she had a whole, I don't know, about 30 essential oils from Young Living. And she says, I use this every day. But the thing is, I don't know how to blend it. I don't know how to mix it. What is the dilution rate? What is the safety? And I've been giving this to my son to drink, which is Thieves. And it's got 14 essential oils blended, very potent, things like basil, oregano, thyme, and puts it in a capsule and makes her son drink it. And the poor guy broke out in a rash all over his body. So when you do something like that without understanding what you're doing, you're going to take out all the toxins that are in your system and you break out in a rash. It gets really itchy. You can get irritated. It can burn your stomach lining. I'm sorry to say there have been cases where there has also been mortality issues with essential oils, like babies just taking a bottle and drinking. And that is why the caps have to be really tight and childproof. So we think about safety in all aspects over here, especially when you are blending essential oils. And you need to know what is the right dilution for the certain age group. As I said, we can use it from babies to from unborn child. So we're even working with pregnancy. We're also working with people, let's say, who are really aged, let's say maybe 80 plus years old, a 3-year-old child, a 5-year-old child, a 12-year-old child. So all these dilution rates depends on the age of the person, and you need to know what you're blending. So you would never blend what I would say a very caustic oil like thyme, oregano, basil, with, let's say, beautiful oils like rose and neroli, because you're killing it. You're killing the whole essence of that beautiful blend that you're trying to create. So the art of blending is really, it's an art, because, and this is what we study, right? Because if today I didn't study, and I've studied 300 essential oils, which I know how to safely blend and create any blend that anybody wants for any ailment that they want. But when you go to Dr. Google, and when you go into now ChatGPT or whatever, so today you got so much information like, hey, I have a migraine. What shall I do? What shall I, what can I blend for my migraine? And maybe peppermint is not the right oil for you because maybe you're allergic to peppermint, but you use peppermint because Google told you to do so. Put peppermint with maybe some thyme or some lavender and grapefruit and Roman chamomile, and you blend it all together, because the dosage is much higher than what is anticipated as a safe dilution rate. And then you use it, and then you break out in a rash, or your migraine gets worse, or your headache, and you feel nauseated. And then we get a bad reputation because it's not the right way, right? So education is important.
So talking about education, Sunita, do you offer any courses, online courses, in-house courses? What kind
I do.
Of
Well, I was running the Holistic Institute before in JLT, which I think you came in as a volunteer and had many, many treatments there. Well, I had to close that in 2014 when the government came up with the regulation that didn't support me. So I let it go. And so basically, what was your question again, Sandy? Sorry, I was getting a bit off track here.
Okay, so I'm just asking about the courses. The
courses, yeah. Okay.
Are there any courses available that you are conducting? Any trainings or online or what?
I do. So I have an online digital platform which I created during the time of COVID, because, well, everybody was stuck at home, and so I thought, well, online training will be great, and you can. So I'm actually a trustee and a board member of the International Federation of Professional Aromatherapists in England. So we actually make the curriculum, and we actually teach on the education, committee, where we decide a lot of rules and regulations of how schools need to teach and behave. So we do a lot of that, and that's an amazing thing that I've reached at this status in my life, because I'm actually able to then decide what schools should be doing when I had a school as well. So yes, I have a digital online platform. We offer the IFP syllabus, which is a diploma. It's a pretty long course. So if you really want to be a clinical aromatherapist, you can sign up for that course online. It will take you probably 1.5 to 2 years to complete it, because it's not a small course. And you get an international diploma with that. So you can practice as a clinical aromatherapist worldwide. Of course, not everybody's inclined to be a clinical aromatherapist, but people just want to learn for fun. So we have a lovely course, short courses. So some of them are like the art of blending, which is online. So everything is pre-recorded, and you go through each and every module. Once you finish a module, you do a test, you move to module 2 and module 3, 4, etc., until you finish it. And then you get your certification of completion. So it's not a diploma, because it's only $23 for the course, but you learn 10 essential oils in that and 2 base oils, which is more than enough for any family to understand how I can use these 10 essential oils to blend and to safely, use it on my children, on my family, on my husband, or myself. If I'm pregnant, for example. I mean, we also have cases where people have cancers and things like that. So we have to be careful with what are we using and how are we applying the essential oils. So there's a lot of things. So the art of blending is available, emotional, healing your emotions with aromatherapy, pain management with aromatherapy. We have a lot of short courses on our digital platform.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about emotional healing. What do you mean by that?
Okay, so when I started working as an aromatherapist, I was very clinically orientated. And so when a person would come and see me for, let's say, for example, they would like to come and see me for a migraine, for example. So what is behind the migraine? obviously there's an emotion involved behind the migraine or behind the knee pain that I'm suffering from. So at the end of the day, we have to look at the emotional aspect of the person. Once we clear that emotion, the actual pain actually dissipates and disappears. So I studied and I learned and I understood that when I started working with my clients and I started working more on the emotional aspect, and that's where the consultation techniques come in when we do a lifestyle consultation. And that is when I actually was able to help my clients at a much deeper level than I would just on the surface. It's like going and treating the migraine. Okay, great, I've treated your migraine. Now what else is a problem? And so forth. So as you go forward in life in your journey as an aromatherapist or as an alternative therapist, you have to really go in another deeper level to be able to help your clients in a better way.
Okay, because nowadays a lot of people are suffering from some kind of emotional trauma
Tell
for
me about
whatever
it.
reason. It could be related to business, it could be related to family, it could be related to your relationships, whole
Right.
lot of different things, right? And so a lot of us want to reach out for some kind of, um, stress reliever, or,
Yeah.
take that headache away, or take that tension away, or, make me feel a little more
Yep.
relaxed, a little more rejuvenated, I'm breathing better. So
Mm-hmm.
Put him here.
people are wanting to do those kind of things. What would you advise, for example, a blend that could make them, just inhale that, or, have it around the house, or rub it on their wrists or whatever? What
Right.
can you do?
Well, there are many essential oils that we can use for emotional healing. And the best way of using it is making an inhaler like your good old Vicks inhaler, where you've got a cotton inside. So you put your choice of essential oils in there. And I love using things like neroli, rose, jasmine, melissa, because they are emotional oils. They work with the heart chakra. They work in a very deep level. So it really goes in and absorbs in, how would you say, I can't explain it, but more on a spiritual level, maybe, or even in a very energetic level with the body, because it works. Essential oils have a vibration. So every flower has a vibration. So it is flower essences that we are absorbing into our system. And these flower essences, so like rose is related to heart or the heart chakra or love, right? So it really works in a beautiful way, but inhaling it, because when you inhale something, so for example, I've got a bottle of lavender here, for example. Let's say I even just open the bottle and I just smell it. Just that itself is already calming me down, because it's going to go up my nostril into the limbic system in the brain where my thalamus and hypothalamus are located. And that is our seat of emotions. Our sense of smell as human beings, we're not animals, as human beings, it is amazing, because we will recognize something, we will either like it or we will hate it. So some people do not like certain essential oils, and we always ask preferences when we're doing a blend for somebody. But the sense of smell, to treat the emotional aspect, is smelling the essential oil. So the inhaler method is one of the best ways. If I can put a few drops in my wrist and smell it, it's not enough. I'm not going to get that effect. But yes, if I make a blend and rub it on my chest, because my nose is right here, so I'm going to smell it throughout the day. Now that is going to, wow, make me really calm myself, de-stress myself. Soles of the feet are another lovely way of using essential oils, because the feet absorb the essential oils in a much faster manner. So I always rub it on the chest, because my nose is here, and on the soles of my feet. So it absorbs into my blood barrier system and it immediately calms me down. Or another way is put a drop of whichever essential oil. So for example, let's not talk about maybe emotions. Maybe I'm exhausted today. I've worked so hard. I'm like, my head is banging. I'm exhausted. What do I do to pep me up? I'll take a drop of peppermint, for example. I'll put it in the palm of my hand. I'll rub my hands together and I will inhale deeply. Now that goes straight into the limbic system in the brain, down my throat, into my tissues and cells, and it starts to wake me up and make me feel like, oh, I'm ready to work again. It's like a cup of coffee, you know?
Okay, so you mentioned something about chakras. Okay, now
Okay.
this is quite quite something that ladies reading about, and they know something to do with meditation and all of those things. So are these essential oils also like related to which oil to which chakra kind of thing?
100%. So I actually was teaching how to do aura cleansing and chakra balancing with essential oils before when I had my center. Every chakra in our body has about, I would say, 20 to 30 essential oils that can open up that chakra. So again, it depends which chakra is blocked. So if you're working with healing or with dowsing or whatever, then you know that that chakra is in jeopardy, and then you would be able to make certain blends for that person to apply on that chakra to open up that chakra. So let's say
What are
some
the
people,
chakras? So before we go a
yeah,
little, can you just, for those of us who don't know much about chakras, can you just tell us that the names of the chakras, how many they are, and where to find them
well,
on the body?
the seven main chakras are located on our spinal cord, actually. It's literally from our crown chakra to our third eye, to our throat chakra, to the solar plexus, the umbilical, the pubic bone, and the base chakra.
Okay.
So it's what we say, like the Kundalini rising, right? So a lot of people think, okay, my base chakra is blocked, so that's why I'm stuck in life. I'm unable to walk, I'm unable to move. So the base chakra is blocked. Or I'm unable to find love in my life. I'm unable to feel any emotion. Well, the heart chakra is blocked, right? So the seven chakras have always different colors as well. And then the colors also vibrate with the essential oils to actually help to open up that chakra as well. So again, that's going into another depth of using essential oils and aromatherapy. So again, as I said, there are many various ways of using essential oils to open up your auric field, to open up your energy fields, or wherever you feel you're stuck or you're not grounded enough, for example. So people put frankincense or sandalwood or cedarwood on the soles of their feet to make them feel more grounded on this planet, because a lot of airy fairies out there, right? So,
Yes, I know this is a fascinating subject, and we can go on and on and on, and we'll never ever finish because it's so interesting. And also, you did mention, there are a lot of plus points, but there are also something that if you use it in the incorrect manner or the incorrect amount or the blend or something, it can have an adverse effect. So, can you
100%.
just uh, touch a little bit more on that? Because when
Okay.
when talking about buying stuff or whatever,
Yeah.
we don't always have Sunita sitting in front of us, right?
No. So, for example, if you're going out there and you're venturing out into buying your couple of first bottles of essential oils, first and foremost, you need to make sure that you're paying the right price for it. You cannot buy a bottle of lavender for 10 dirhams, okay? Because that'll be a fragrant oil. Then you need to see the labels. So it must explain what is the usage of these essential oils, like say maybe 3 drops in a teaspoon of base oil to use it as a massage for an adult dose, or 9 drops in a bath, 1 drop in the palm of your hand to inhale. There's many, many various ways or methods of uses, as we call it. There should be some indication. Most important is the botanical name of the essential oil. Do you know how many species of let's say, eucalyptus there are in this world?
No idea.
800. So which
What?
one are you buying? Yeah.
Wow.
So which one are you buying? Are you buying Eucalyptus citriodora? Are you buying Eucalyptus radiata? Eucalyptus globulus, which is the most popular one? Which one are you buying? Which lavender are you buying? Are you buying French lavender, English lavender, Australian lavender, Bulgarian lavender? So if you don't have the Latin name written on and which country it is, distilled in and coming from, or the plant is from, then you don't know what you're buying. And it has to have the safety instructions. There are many, many categories, because today, if I'm going to buy something and I use it on my face, for example, and I bought something that is not authentic, a real essential oil, and I bought something that's synthetic, can you imagine what's going to happen to my skin on my face? I've got the best base oil, I've got jojoba or sweet almond, but I've bought something that's just off the shelf somewhere, and I didn't check properly what it was. And hence, I put it on my face in a cream blend, and I broke out in a rash or pimple or acne or whatever. I mean, anything can happen. You can get any kinds of skin conditions. There's tons of them. So we need to look and observe what kind of labels, what is the usage, understand what we are buying, the source it's coming from. Is it expired? I can open a bottle and smell it, right? But you will also know from the sense of smell, because if you have been using, let's say, a pure lavender and you go and buy just some other lavender somewhere else, you can detect the difference in smell. So what I like to tell people and how you can actually detect between a synthetic oil and a real oil, I've got, for example, I've just picked this up, okay? I'm just going to do a very, very quick test if you allow me to do that. I've got citronella here, which smells like mosquito spray. I've just put a drop here on a blotting paper, okay? 2 drops went in. And now I'm using another brand, which I'm not sure, I'm not going to disclose which brand it is, but I'm just putting a couple of 2 drops here as well on this. Now, the drops is taking so long to come out. When you see something like that, so I've got 1 drop there, and I've got another drop, okay? So the one that is here is the one I just put in, and the one that's here, you see it's running down, and do you see there's a residue to it?
Yes.
So when there is a base oil that has been blended in an essential oil, means it has been adulterated.
Okay.
So you will also know when you buy an essential oil, because essential oils evaporate. They're very high volatility, so they evaporate into the air after a while. But what is blended or adulterated will last you for quite some time, because there'll be a fatty residue left at the end. And that has been adulterated with a base oil. So you're not buying a pure essential oil, you see? So these kinds of tests you can do, people douse, people can smell, you know, people need to read the labels, you know, like today we go for nutrition. I mean, come on, if I'm vegan today, I need to go and see and make sure that I'm not buying anything that's got any milk products in it, right? Or egg product in it. So we read. So I always advise people, please buy from a reliable source, because you need to have a therapeutic effect when you use any essential oil, because a lot of them are adulterated, like geranium is adulterated with rose, because they smell so similar. So you think you're buying pure rose essential oil, but you're actually buying geranium. You understand? So
I get it. Okay, so another important part is there an expiry on these essential oils when you buy them? Do you think, oh, it's an oil, you know, how can it expire? So
of
is
course there's
there,
an expiry. Everything expires. But essential oils, if kept properly, like I refrigerate mine, can last you for many years. But normally citrus oils are the ones that go rancid really quickly, or they get, they get spoiled, because the volatility rate of citrus oils are maybe 6 months to 9 months. But if you
okay,
keep it in the fridge, you probably get a year and a half out of it, like grapefruit, sweet orange, lemon, lime, things like that. So yes, they are. And I would always count the day that I bought the essential oil from the shop, but there should be a batch written on the label as well. So you can count from then, how many months is this going to last me? And it
okay.
depends how often you use it, right?
Quite true. Okay, so now I wanted to ask you, like, for example, I want to go out and I want to buy a couple of oils that are going to soothe my skin and keep it supple and soft and not show so many wrinkles. And I'll get up and I'll just walk out without my makeup looking, ooh, so fresh. So what should I buy?
Well, for your kind of skin, Sandy, I would definitely recommend, because you have a bit of a T-zone, okay? So
Yes.
you have a combination skin. And so I would recommend frankincense, rose, and neroli for you, maybe 3 essential oils to start with and use it, because frankincense is an anti-aging and it's
Okay.
great for wrinkles. But if a person has a lot of wrinkles, then I would go with myrrh, which is very strong, and vetiver. I mean, let's not forget that the Christ child was given by the 3 wise men, myrrh, frankincense, and cedarwood. And these are precious oils today. And I'll tell you also, you cannot buy any anti-aging cream, any brand, which will cost you a bomb outside in the market, which does not contain essential oils in it. That is your active ingredient in the creams that you're buying as anti-aging. So please bear that in mind as well. But why not make your own? It's much
Okay,
cheaper.
so yeah, because well, I have used essential oils in the past, and I have to admit that I'm very lazy. and I don't go back and buy stuff now. The last time I think we met, you did sell quite a lot of essential oils, and I was just too busy to buy it. So this is a good reminder to come and see you again. But for people, for example, we have viewers from all over the world. We have quite a few viewers from the UK, and I think they have quite a lot. They have booths here. They have body shop here.
Right.
Okay, and both of them have got the skincare places where you can buy so-called essential oils or
Absolutely.
whatever. So,
Yeah.
how good are those?
Well, when I opened my center in Jumeirah in 99, well, Body Shop was our neighbors downstairs, and they were really like, oh my God, she's opening an aromatherapy and she's selling oils here. And so I explained to a lot of my clients when they were comparing my prices to Body Shop. So I said, please read their labels. So if you're buying a bottle of rose essential oil, it says 3% dilution or 2% dilution. So if you're buying a 10 ml bottle, there's 20 drops of rose essential oil in it, and the balance is a base oil of either jojoba or this. So it's not 100% pure. So how can you compare a bottle of rose buying from Body Shop, which is, and they're very clear in there, so they're not doing anything wrong. They're very clear with their labels that it is a 3% or a 1% dilution. But when you're buying something that is pure, how can you compare? I mean, I sell rose pure essential oil for 1,800 dirhams for a 10 ml bottle. It's not cheap because it takes 3,000 kilos of rose petals to make 100 kilo of rose essential oil. So, just imagine the work that goes into jasmine, rose, violet leaf, all those small little petals that you take out from the flowers. And jasmine, you can only pick at night. So look at the labor that goes into it, right? So obviously, the smaller the flowers, the more expensive the oil is going to be because you're not getting that much yield out of it. So everything matters when you think about buying essential oils, understanding the quality, reliable sources. And of course, I still sell my brand essentials. If anybody's interested to buy my essential oils, either they can buy it from my website or they can buy it from Amazon using the brand Essentials, which is ESSENSUALS, not essentials.
Okay. All
So
right.
there's many ways.
So I'm talking about a person who could be wanting to go a little more natural, less chemicals on the skin that could be absorbed, and I would like to have my base routine for my face and my eyes and my neck. Instead of buying a cream that costs perhaps 3,000 dirhams. They have those creams
possible.
there, right?
Of course they do.
And I would rather say, okay, I'd rather buy something else. So what would your recommendation be for example, my combination skin? And not looking at me at 70 years old, but looking at people who are younger, maybe in their 40s, 50s. What could be their base routine? Like they get up in the morning, they wash their face. What should they wash their face with? And then what should they apply?
Yeah. So if a person wants a beauty regime, they can come and see me, for example, because again, it's customized, personalized, and bespoke, whatever blends that we create for our clients. So I will look at the person's face, find out their lifestyle, their dietary issues. That matters a lot as well, right? With your skin, if you're drinking enough water and all. And what do you eat? And so we will go through a regime and what do you want to use? If you have not enough time, then maybe you want 2 or 3 products and then you're done, So we can create a face wash, we can create scrubs, we can create masks for you, we can create a cream or a base face blend for you as per your skin type. And you apply that at night mostly. I like people to use it at night because your skin sleeps at night. Your skin rejuvenates at night. So it's lovely to use essential oils at night. In the daytime, you're running around in Dubai. Look at the heat over here.
Yes.
I mean, you're gonna perspire. And so use your normal creams if you want in the daytime, or we make you something very light. And then you use something at night, or learn to make it yourself. It's not difficult.
Okay, so if I want to learn to make it myself, is there any course you offer? For example, I may be not able to come to you physically. So is there an online course, like a video where you teach me how to do stuff? How does it work?
Yep. So the Art of Blending course is one of the best courses to take because that is the first thing anybody who's just stepping into the world of aromatherapy should do. Because first of all, it teaches you about safety, the right dilution for blending, which essential oils you're using, and then you decide with that. Because when I teach, I give a lot of information, my own personal experiences when I'm speaking, because I also talk about my skin and what I've used and what I've done and how I got out of all the different kinds of creams that I've used in my life, and just use my own very simple face cream at night or my face blend at night, you know. So once they learn that, then they can ask questions. Okay, I would like to make this. I would like to do that. What would you recommend? I'm very happy to answer on the online platform any of the students who would like to create a bespoke blends for themselves that, hey, I'm in this situation. I've thought about this oil. Do you think this would be suitable for me? Send me a picture of your face. Let me look at it, or come on Zoom or whatever. I've done that with many of my students because they're learning. And my job is to make sure that they understand.
Quite true.
And then
quite
they
true.
create the right blend for them. And once they use it, they never go back to creams.
Yes.
Never.
So now we were talking about women. A lot of us, of course, have got the males in the house, the husband, the son, and the son-in-law, maybe, and
Yep.
generally the males in the house. And so what is good for them? Because they generally don't do too much for themselves, and it always falls on the ladies of the house to come up with something which is good for them, relaxing for them, good for
Absolutely.
sleep, digestion. So my first question is there anything different between being male and female when it comes to the oils?
Not at all. Of course, a male is not going to like jasmine and rose on their face or on their body. They would like more manly fragrances. So we will go with sandalwood, cedarwood, frankincense, myrrh, the more oody type of oils, more grounding oils. And that's what you buy outside. I mean, nowadays, so many men are taking care of their skin, their beards, their hair, so many things. I mean, we don't stop in skin here because your hair is also part of your skin. I mean, you can make, like your hair falls and so many things. So we make many blends for people for hair loss, hair thinning, alopecia and things like that. You can literally do anything for yourself. To me, I feel when you study 10 essential oils, you really have a vast amount of knowledge and 2 base oils to create pretty much anything and everything, which you require for your family. And that's where you step into this world. And once you create it and you see the differences with what's happening in your family, like your children get sick all the time, the immune system is low, you create blends for them that they take and use it in school, or you spray it on their uniform before they leave. I mean, look, when I studied aromatherapy, I've got 3 daughters. They hardly went to the doctor because I use essential oils on them on a daily basis. So I boosted their immune system. So they didn't get sick all the time, the normal cold and the sneeze and the flus and all that a lot of kids got in school, which they still do today. So we actually ward off because essential oils can kill airborne viruses as well. And I used it a lot during COVID. And thank God I did, especially when you're traveling and things like that, you keep yourself safe.
Very good. Wonderful. So if somebody wants to get in touch with you, how did you do that?
Well, they can either WhatsApp me on my WhatsApp number if you want me to share that here, or they can go to my website, which I can share it here as well. Or they can email me, or they can Google me and they'll get in touch with me.
Yes, there's
one
a lot
way or
on
another.
yeah. So what we will do is, since you're already on our Facebook page, I would suggest that you share all your contact details there, your website, your mobile number, and all your social media handles. And Celestia will be sharing that on our other social media as well. And I hope you're going to be writing a blog for us, because there's so much stuff that we can learn from you. I don't think it'll ever end, because this is a never end suppository, depository, whatever.
So many,
right?
Yeah.
So I think it will be wonderful if you come back and join us again sometime. We'd love to have you back. In the meantime, I think we're running out of time now, so we're going to close this session. And thank you very much, Sunita. We've enjoyed having you with us. Celeste is always on the lookout for wonderful people who can bring about a positive change in our lives, bring in more balance, make us more vibrant, and what you shared with us is going to do that as well.
Thank
So
you.
all of you watching today, all of you watching us later on YouTube and Facebook, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, to like us on Facebook, to like us on Instagram, and to send us your feedback. We'd love
Mm.
to hear from you. So till next time, it's goodbye and enjoy the rest of the week.